What's going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer here, baseball community manager for Out of the Park Developments. Last week we played a little bit more of our Padres franchise, but this week I wanted to bring back SnaggleJ to continue his 1994 Blue Jays run, trying to three-peat with those beautiful Toronto Blue Jays. He made some interesting trades, and SnaggleJ is back tonight to keep you going. How's it going, Kris?
Not too bad. I'm doing quite well. I'm quite pleased that you guys invited me back. Must have went just well enough to warrant me making a return appearance.
I heard you made some good moves, so I'm very excited to bring you back so I can see what happens here.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, if you want to catch the full archive, I think is it youtube.com/OOTP developments.
That is correct.
So you can head over to youtube.com/OOTP developments. You can watch part one in its entirety. We started in spring training. We are currently July 10th. Just taking a quick look at the transactions that we made. June was a busy month. So we traded 21-year-old right fielder Sean Green to the Rockies.
We got Hebrew Hammer. That's an interesting play.
It is. He actually has hit almost 300 in 26 games since going to Colorado.
Well, it's a hitter's ballpark, so.
But we did get we got 30-year-old Dante Bichette, who is in his prime, has hit 342 with 10 home runs in 34 games since we acquired him. We also got 30-year-old closer Bruce Ruffin, who pitched very good for us, and we got 30-year-old left fielder Franklin Stubbs, who's just kind of a bench guy. Bruce Ruffin was important because 2 weeks later we traded him, Dave Stewart, and Danny Cox to the Kansas City Royals, reacquiring World Series champion David Cone and 26-year-old reliever Rusty Meacham.
Nice.
We had identified pitching as a very weak spot. I mean, as you can see, our rotational ERA is 4.17 is our leader. So we're having some pitching problems. So we acquired David Cone in hopes that it would turn it around. And we did turn it around quite well. We were 10 games under 500 in about mid-June. We're back up to 42 and 43 as we start the post All-Star break. We are 7 games back in the division right now. And then this being the first year of them having the wild card, which they never got to use because of the strike, we are 4 back of Boston in the wild card right now. But we do have 5 teams we have to jump to get there.
Wow. Yeah, there's Red Sox and Mariners are tied, or Red Sox and Mariners both got the wild card.
Yep.
Athletics and Rangers are both a half game back. And Brewers are 2.5 games.
Yeah, something's got to give. I mean, the AL West right now has a 3-way tie for the division lead. Something is going to have to give there. Again, there's a lot of moving and shaking left to be done. Hopefully, we have built a team. We still have 3 weeks before the trade deadline. So if we have to add, something, we can. Our hitting has been about as good as can be expected. We did have some key injuries to Roberto Alomar and John Olerud, which really kind of hurt us in the late May, early June timeframe. But everyone's back and healthy, and so hopefully we can march on and three-peat with this team.
Yeah, that NL East looks unbelievable right now. We know in real life the Expos were quite dominant, and the Braves were right on their tail.
Yes.
And here the Braves are 57 and 29, and then the Expos are 55 and 31.
Well, and it's kind of funny because in real life, the Braves in late June, early July, they actually had like a 6-7 game lead over Montreal. In this simulation, they have a 2-game lead, but Montreal got really, really hot in July, and they went like 22 and 6, and then they obviously everything went sideways. But yeah, these two teams are definitely playing well up to where they were in real life. And again, in this simulation, very good chance that one of them wins the wild card, as Montreal has a 10.5 game lead in the wild card right now. So the chances that they're both going to make the playoffs is high.
Yeah, Larry Walker's having an amazing season as well. He's hitting .337 with 18 home runs and 73 RBIs.
Yeah, they're not hurting none.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. So how have you been? How's things?
Things are good.
Things are good.
Tomorrow night, we're going, me and Rich, the chief marketing officer of Out of the Park Developments, are going down to Trenton to see the Trenton Thunder play. We're going to have a little table set up there and show off Out of the Park and franchise hockey manager.
Yes.
Should be a lot of fun.
Very exciting. If you're in the area, make sure you head on down, check out the little setup they're going to have. I heard it's going to be quite impressive.
It should be. I hope so.
It should be impressive. And obviously, you can't pass up some minor league baseball. I hear there's going to be some fireworks.
There's post-game fireworks if you want to stick around.
Post-game
to the dulcet tones of Nickelback, I believe.
Oh, my. Well, you can't win them all, I guess.
Yep.
We've received a trade proposal from Montreal.
Ooh, get Larry Walker so you can have...
They want to trade us Randy Milligan and Gabe White for John Olerud. So obviously they're trying to load up. They think that we have very little chance of going anywhere. And yeah, Gabe White is an interesting prospect. He is a 3.5-star left-handed pitcher at this point, but I think that's probably going to be a hard pass. We're not.
John Olerud has regressed this season, though.
After his injury.
But he had 363 last year.
Yes.
He tore a labrum, I think, and now he's hitting 279.
Yeah, he has not had a good year. He has spent some time injured. Again, he is valuable when he's in the lineup. Right now, after simulating a week, it's just been a few days, but he has more walks than strikeouts. He has a 23-17 walk to K ratio. So he's very valuable when he's in the lineup. And I really don't think we have an acceptable replacement. I don't think Carlos Delgado is really ready. So yeah, that's probably going to be a hard pass from our perspective. More than likely. We're going to be getting bombarded with trade proposals. Another trade proposal for John Olerud. Again, probably just best.
And if you don't want to trade him, if you don't want to trade Olerud specifically, you can just right click on him, hit trade options, and set him to untouchable.
Yes, that's right. I do forget about that from time to time. Because usually
after the third, I'm like, oh right, I should just set him to untouchable.
Yeah, well, usually I'm to the point where I'm like, I will literally trade anybody. Dick Schofield is looking to work out a new deal. He's 31. He's 215. So we're probably gonna sit back on that one for a little bit.
I feel a hard pass coming on.
Yeah, I feel probably a hard pass coming on there as well. Just kind of how I think that's going to play out. I feel like maybe we should just leave that one.
Yeah.
We just unlocked have a 10-game winning streak.
Nice.
Which is nice. We're actually back up to 45-45, which is pretty good.
Things are happening.
I feel like. We're going to unclick a few things here. Try to cut down on the amount of emails I have to scroll through on a periodical basis. Another trade proposal. Kevin.
Yes, I noticed you sent me a copy of the save file, and I noticed you had 257 unread emails.
Yes, when we were doing the stream, we did not sit and read through the emails for the sake of saving some time. But I think maybe Adam wanted to read them all. I think he was curious as to what they might contain, but we did not. We hard pass on the emails.
I understand.
I do not want Damon Berryhill. I love Damon Berryhill, but it's probably not going to get it done. Teams are after Todd Stottlemyre, which our pitching has been so atrocious. I honestly have no idea why. Tony Castillo has been diagnosed with dead arm.
No,
he's only out 3 days. 3 days is fine. He will more than likely survive. Juan Guzman has a stomach virus. Summertime flu. The barber messed up his jerry curl. He doesn't want to be seen in public for a few days. Man, I wish there you go. There's a free one to pass on to the devs for OOTP 19. Some sort of comment about Juan Guzman's jerry curl.
All right, I'll make sure they put it in there.
Make sure you can, if you could. I would greatly appreciate it. No, we are not trading Paul Molitor. I don't care that he's 37. He's hitting 351.
That's Pretty good.
351, 9 homers, 56 RBIs. We're definitely not trading Paul Molitor.
Is there anything you're looking to add to the team right now?
I mean, taking a look at our roster, like if an interesting trade came up for a starting pitcher, our starting pitching has gotten a lot better. You can already see after we've simulated just through 2 weeks, the ERAs have already started to dip significantly. I mean, Al Leiter's down to a 383. If I could add a starting pitcher or a bullpen arm or both, that wouldn't be atrocious. Unfortunately, we're just using like the reserve roster for this. Again, it was only kind of intended to be a 1-year sort of thing. But the problem that we have is the only real asset that we have to trade is Carlos Delgado.
Yeah.
And again, trying to think of it from a, after trading Sean Green, you really don't want to trade your only other prospect that you have. That would be, pretty much throwing in the towel. At this point, Delgado is a 4.5-star potential. He did play 24 games for us and performed very poorly. But since being sent back to the reserve roster, he's actually gained 0.5 star of overall. He's starting to get a bit better. He could be a very key piece for us in September.
He's going to be your clutch catcher, right?
He is, and that's the thing is I feel like it's if we wanted to make a big splash, we could probably trade Carlos Delgado and make a huge splash with somebody. But the chances that the realisticness that we would do that is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to win the third World Series, but we're also not trying to tank the future of the Jays.
Like I feel like again, looking at the pieces we have and looking back at 1993, I feel like we have a good enough team to win. Our offense is definitely good enough to win. There is absolutely no doubt that we have the hitting to win. Again, back end of the rotation, not so great. We do have some question marks in the bullpen. Mike Timlin hasn't pitched very well, but I don't know if it's worth giving up the farm for it. Eric Davis. Eric Davis is an interesting proposition. But, again, getting rid of probably one of our better left-handed relievers in Tony Castillo, again, probably not a good idea.
Well, Eric Davis has got to be getting up there, though, right?
He's 32 at this point. He has not had a very good season. He's only played 26 games and has only hit 194. So again, not really someone that's like, hey, we could plug this guy in, and we signed Rob Deere earlier in the season. Basically, we'd be getting the same thing, except in this case, we'd have to give up players to get him.
Yeah, I was looking at the transaction log of the stuff that actually happened in 1994.
Yeah.
The only couple things I saw was like Roberto Kelly went to the. I think it was Roberto Kelly went to the Braves for Deion Sanders.
Nice.
That was like the one big thing that I saw.
That was the one.
Well, because again, it was only a half season, so.
Interesting.
Let me scroll back down, see if I can find anything more in there.
Interesting.
You should see if where's Darryl Strawberry? Or he got released in that season, I would assume. Yeah, he was with the Dodgers, and then the Giants signed him. So he probably went somewhere, actually, because he would have been a free agent at the start of the season.
Right. I'm going to see what are the odds that anyone has any interest in Woody Williams. Nobody. Well, that worked out nicely. He's been pretty bad for us. We're at July 29th, so we're pretty much there.
What's the standings?
So right now, we head back to our home screen. We have jumped Boston. We are 53-47. So we are 4 games back in the division, and we actually have a 1-game lead in the wild card. The better we get, the more I consider trading Delgado. After we just had a big conversation about not trading him, I'm thinking it's like,
Here.
Do you?
You want to know? Let me think. I just want to see how some players did so far. Or at least, there was a big trade in December of that year.
Yes.
which you don't need a third baseman, right?
I have Ed Sprague currently, who hasn't been awful. He's hit 261, 12 homers, 48 RBIs.
So in December of 1994, there was a trade for a young player that had been on the Blue Jays, actually. The Padres traded a number of players, including Derek Bell, to the Astros for Ken Caminiti and a bunch of guys. And Steve Finley in there, too. So there may be a move to get Ken Caminiti if you wanted a third baseman. In the save, the part of the save that I have, he was hitting 304, 15 home runs, and 28 doubles.
Yeah, he
might be something you want to look at.
He's actually gotten better at this point now. He's hitting 313 with 17 homers and 75 RBIs and 31 doubles, which actually the 31 doubles matches his entire seasonal output from the previous 2 full seasons.
Might be something you want to think about.
Well, it's not out of the question. But the thing is, what would we have to give up to get him? Obviously, we could trade Ed Sprague. Caminiti is how old at this point? 31. So they get 4 years younger with Ed Sprague. See, our problem is our budgetary restraints are huge. We only have about $600K, and Caminiti makes $3 million. So that's the thing is giving up something. We'd have to give up somebody like Bichette. I mean, who, again, we've traded for him. He's been absolutely fantastic. I think at this point, the only upgrades we could really perform are minor upgrades. I don't think we're going to be able to go out and get a superstar type player just based on the fact that we don't have the salary available to us.
Let's see who else was in that.
In order to make that happen. That's a problem, obviously.
Oh, you know who else was in that? Which one is this one? The other Pedro Martinez was in that deal.
The other Pedro Martinez.
Phil Plantier, Ricky Gutierrez, Doug Brocail.
The lesser Bobka. The other Pedro.
This is your chance. This is it. You make the move to win right here. You send Paul Molitor to the Phillies for Ken Caminiti.
Man, that is to the Astros. You mean?
Yeah.
Caminiti's on the Astros.
Yeah.
Do we send Paul Molitor, who makes $6.1 million? It is in the last year of his deal.
Last year of his contract.
We'd have to take on additional salary from Houston. Houston cannot afford. We have to
see if you can see who's your reserve outfielders.
Right now,
Rob Deere.
Right now, reserve outfielders we're using Mike Huff, Rob Deere.
See if they'll throw in. See if they'll throw in Steve Finley if he's playing well.
I don't know if he makes enough. He does not.
Probably not. But.
No, it's not enough. We need to go something a little bigger. I wonder if they have any overpriced pitchers that they'd like to get rid of. Ooh.
Like Andujar Cedeno or Roberto Pedagini or Brian Williams.
Pete Harnish makes it a little too one-sided.
Oh, Pete Harnish. That'd be a solid pickup right there.
I know. Okay, but the thing is then we have to add on our side. So Caminiti and Harnish, obviously way too much for their taste. They're not huge fans at all. Do we have any middling prospects?
I wouldn't want to give up Sprague. Right. Well, they probably couldn't afford Sprague, right?
Well, Sprague's pretty cheap. He's not making a whole.
Yeah. So what's going? Oh, one of them. I guess one of them is DHing, right? Molitor's probably DHing.
Molitor is DHing. Olaru plays first. Sprague plays third. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. It was just a suggestion. Yeah,
it's difficult.
Sounds interesting.
On paper, it sounds interesting. The problem is that it's difficult for us to make a trade like that without giving up. Without having to include. At this point, even if like if we tried to trade Molitor and Delgado straight up for Caminiti and Harnish, Houston's not interested. So it's kind of strange. They seem to value Pete Harnish and obviously they value Ken Caminiti quite highly, but
as would I.
As would I as well. They have Mitch Williams. We could get Mitch Williams and let him try to redeem his massive World Series failure against the Blue Jays. Poor guy. How's he even doing? Does anyone even want to know?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's actually having a good year.
Yeah, he was released that season, I believe.
And Scott Radinsky. Brian. Ooh. Oh, still has not enough salary. That's the problem we can. Andahar Cedeno. Difficult. It's difficult. This is difficult to make a deal. Again, the Caminiti or the Molitor salary makes it hard because he makes twice as much as he's making twice as much money as Caminiti. Yeah, I think that's going to be dead in the water. Yeah. I don't think we're going to be able to make it happen. We're going to play.
Hop into owner mode and just call it a day.
Yeah, just hop into commissioner mode and just turn all budgetary restraints off and.
Yep. That's what you gotta do
I think we're just going to have to deal the hand that we're played right now. I think it's kind of where we're at. We made our move. We made our moves in June, and that might be what we have to go with. I don't know if we have any real options. Just taking a look, we do have some blockbuster deals that have occurred in the last few days. By the way, the Yankees, who are ahead of us in the standings, acquired John Smiley. John Smiley, who is not having the best of seasons. He's 6-7. He does have a 3.07 ERA though, so he has been better than his win-loss record dictates. They also got Kevin Jarvis from the Reds for 30-year-old Jim Leyritz. They were trying
to send Leyritz to you too.
They were trying to unload Leyritz in a bad way. That must mean, they have Mike Stanley, who's having a phenomenal season for them, hitting .334 with 24 bombs. So Jim Leyritz at this point, expendable. So that's kind of not surprising. Can kind of understand why the Yankees, they fear us. The Yankees also acquired Geronimo Berroa.
They're just going all out.
Yeah, both of those trades occurred today. Geronimo Berroa, and they gave up Terry Mulholland, who is 31 at this point, which is hard to believe considering he's still pitching.
He still pitches many years after that.
He's still, and New York is retaining some of Mulholland's contract to get that done. They also gave up a third baseman, Russ Davis, a 2.5-star potential 24-year-old, so basically a nothing. Oakland once again gets fleeced on a massive deal.
Things happen. Yeah.
The Expos also, by the way, making big trades. They got Greg Colbrin from the Marlins in exchange for Gil Heredia and everyone's favorite player, Cliff Floyd.
That's not bad.
Everybody loves Cliff Floyd.
Who doesn't?
Everybody loves Cliff Floyd. Not going to lie. So there. We have moved past the trade deadline. We are 2 back at this point. Playing very, very well. And then Paul Molitor has just been injured for 2 to 3 weeks.
See, should trade him.
That hurts. Well, I guess that means Delgado's coming back up. I mean, we really have no other options at this point than to bring Delgado back up. Delgado is going to DH, obviously. Hopefully it works out for us. He'll sending him back down to the reserve minors will help him pick up his socks a little bit. Dante Bichette has messaged us, wants us to know that he would appreciate if we extended him.
Sure.
I mean, he's hit 345 with 19 jacks and 64 RBIs in 54 games since he's come over.
I mean, that would be something I would extend.
That is probably worthy of an extension. He is looking for a 9-year deal worth $36 million total.
Deal. Give it to him.
That would extend him till he's 39 years old.
Hey man, this is back in the day. You can do that.
We're gonna try to save some money. Actually, we'll put those back there. We'll try to save some money in the latter years. See if we can save a couple $100K here and there. Ask for a response. That's a fair offer. Please give me a few days. All right, we'll see what that happens. We offered him 9 years, $35.3 million. Trying to lock up Dante Bichette for the rest of his natural-born life.
Hey, that's what it takes.
And he accepted it. So Dante Bichette will now be a lifelong Blue Jay. Obviously, the fans, very excited.
You know who I might see tomorrow?
Who's that?
Dante Bichette Jr. He plays for the Trenton Thunder.
And you know what's funny? If you can't go to the Trenton Thunder game tomorrow night, you can actually go to OOTPdevelopments.com, pick up OOTP 18, and you can play as the Trenton Thunder and Dante Bichette.
You very much could do that.
I mean, he plays for a different team, but like, you could be the Trenton Thunder and play against him. So the options are never ending, obviously.
Son of Dante, brother of Bo, who plays for
the Dunedin Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's a family thing.
Yeah, they had they actually not local, but a Toronto publication had an interview with Bo Bichette the other day saying that he would love to like go up through the system with Vladdy Jr. Mm-hmm. They would, he would really like it if they kind of stuck together, that they formed a bond. Again, they're both the sons of major, obviously Vladdy Guerrero is a bit more of a superstar than Bichette was, but again, both very accomplished major league players, so they have that in common. A lot of expectations on both of their shoulders because of the name on the back of their jersey. So they've kind of formed a bit of a bond, which is kind of cool to see.
Oh, short shift Dante Bichette?
No, that's right. I kind of feel bad that I did. I just signed him to a 9-year extension.
When those Rockies started, man.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Paul Molitor suffered a setback in his recovery.
Told you we should have shopped him.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone was going to take on the $6 million salary for a 37-year-old DH.
Just saying.
I know. You know what? I'm not going to lie.
You should have tried to take a little bit back. Just saying. I
should have definitely listened to your advice on that one. Rob Deere's out for 4 weeks. There goes one of our backup outfielders.
There goes the neighborhood. See, you could have Dante Bichette. You could have Steve Finley. You could have Ken Caminiti. You could have Steve Finley.
Would have.
This trade would have been perfect.
I know, it would have been super lit. Franklin Stubbs, we call him up, and then he immediately wants an extension. I appreciate that.
This is why you should have done the full roster, not the short one.
That's true.
Would have been a little bit more stuff to deal with, but
that's
should
true.
have traded someone. But maybe you had a fire prospect that wasn't there. You could have traded.
Oh yes, maybe a like a.
Also, you traded Sean Green. It could have been your outfielder right there.
That's very true, but at the time, pitching was a huge black hole for us.
What are the standings?
I will let you know. Paul Molitor is eligible to come off the DL, so just one moment. I'm going to deal with that, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. Mr. Stubbs and me tell each other fairy tales. Back to our lineups. Delgado we're going to keep Delgado up, but we're going to stick him on the bench for now. Because, again, he plays left field at this point, so outfield is something we kind of have a need for. So right now it is August 23rd. 67-57 is our current record. 5 games behind the Yankees. Mm-hmm. We are 2 games up on the A's and the Rangers in the wild card.
Nice.
And one of the A's and Rangers will win the AL West can win the AL West because they are tied for the AL West lead. So we're only really competing against one of them. Atlanta has opened up a 7-game lead over Montreal. They are 85-39.
Don't tell Jonah Carey.
That is, listen to this. Greg Maddux, 17-3 with a 2.28 ERA.
Nasty.
Smoltz
Greg Maddux.
Smoltz is 12-5 with a 2.79. Avery is 11-7 with a 3.40. Glavine is 11-5 with a 3.66, and Kent Merker is 9-1.
Kent Merker was no joke.
Nope.
Back then.
Like 9-1 with a 2.61 ERA in the 5 spot in the rotation.
Yeah.
And Javi Lopez, 23 home runs as a 23-year-old and 90 RBIs.
Just for reference, IRL, Greg Maddux went 16-6 with the shortened season with a 1.56 ERA. So
foolish. He was something else. I saw a GIF. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but there's that Twitter account that posts GIFs of pitcher mechanics. Mm-hmm. And they showed a Greg Maddux fastball in like GIF form, and it was the movement on it was absolutely amazing. There's never been anything like it.
His two-seamer was a cut above.
Yeah, it was one of the best of all time, easily. Dante Bichette suffered an injury on September 4th and is out for 2 weeks. That hurts. That hurts big time. Again, we now need Carlos Delgado to flash a little bit. Eh? We need him to flash some September magic. I mean, at this point, we need it. We need it big time. Paul Molitor has said he would like an extension at 37.
Hard pass.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm gonna real quick look and see how.
See what he wants. Yeah.
4 years at $21 million total, which would take him until he's 42 years old. Yeah, that's definitely a hard pass. Robbie Alomar is also in the last year of his contract.
That you might want to resign.
Yeah. He, at this point, is 26. This was actually the last year he played with the Jays, I believe. Offer extension. 8 years at $48 million. Man, oh man. Smalls is out here just killing me. This is something else.
Oh, Rich Hill finished his no-hitter against the Pirates.
Today?
Yeah, right before he just finished it. 'Cause right before we went live, he was 7 innings in.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, Rich Hill.
There you go.
Breaking news.
There you go. Rich Hill with the no-no. He wants an opt-out after 6 years as well, which I'm perfectly okay with. We're okay with offering Robbie Alomar an opt-out. Robbie Alomar signed his extension, so we have Alomar locked up. We have Bichette locked up. Now we just need to lock up this playoff spot. That's what we really need to get at. We really need to lock down this action. We could use Dante Bichette back. Would also be probably helpful to our cause. Just a thought.
How's my man Devon White doing?
Devo. Oh, Robbie Alomar has been suspended for 4 games.
Did he spit in an umpire's face?
It does not specify. But what a terrible time to get suspended. September 17th. I'm looking at the email. It just says he's been suspended by the commissioner's office.
Oh, what's personal? What was the personal message? Was that the the contract thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Mail. Yeah, Robbie Alomar got suspended. Alex Gonzalez got injured. Fan reaction to Robbie's contract. So he gets a contract extended. 7 days later, suspended for 4 days. Probably for
get that money.
Yeah, he got that money, and now he's. Devon White is hitting 292, 15 bombs, 71 RBIs.
Bill Biv Devon. So good.
I mean, he's out there with his 5.2 WAR, which is pretty solid. I mean, you really can't.
I'll take that.
You really can't argue with that. So we're 82-65 with a couple weeks left. 4 games back of the Yankees, but we are 3.5 up in the wild card. So we're looking, again, things can change in a hurry, but we're looking pretty good. Now, it's kind of funny. I know you and I have talked about this before, the amazing season that Frank Thomas was having in 1994 in real life, before the strike and everything happened. Frank Thomas was having a phenomenal 1994 in real life. And in this simulation, he's hitting 365, which leads the American League, has a 482 on base percentage.
Not bad.
He has a 673 slugging percentage, so he's OPS in 1155. He has 33 home runs, 99 RBIs.
But look at what Tim Salmon's doing.
Yeah, I know, the 722 slugging.
A quiet 1200 OPS.
49 jacks and 151 RBIs with 2 weeks left.
That's not bad. Hitting 363, 49 jacks. Wow. I want to see the MVP race in the AL.
Yeah, that's going to be
Albert Bell's hitting 347, 53 home runs, 144 RBI and 23 stolen bases.
Yeah, that is something else. Is that something that they have?
Yeah. You'll have the awards at the end of the season.
Oh no, I'm wondering, is there like a tracker though, where you can kind of see where everyone's stacking up? I don't think there is. I kind of wanted to look and see. I think there is later on. All right, moving on.
It should be in an email at some point.
Absolutely ridiculously foolish offensive seasons happening right now. Personal message from Todd Stottlemyre, who wants to stay in Toronto for the rest of his life. We're gonna leave that on the back burner till after the season. Dante Bichette, eligible to come off the DL. Let's go.
Yeah, you can go to you click on MLB on top.
Yep.
And then reports.
Yep.
Reports and info. You can go to player rankings.
Player rankings. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's just
not necessarily MVP.
Oh, well, Mike Piazza's at the top.
Well, he's also the NL.
Yeah, well, he's hitting 367 with 34 jacks, 86 RBIs. Salmon is second, 367, 50 home runs, 155 RBIs, and then Frank Thomas, and then Albert Bell, who has 53 home runs, is hitting 340. These guys hitting 340 plus. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys hitting 250 plus or 350 plus.
It's a good time to be a baseball fan.
Man, oh man. Obviously, Greg Maddux is number one in the pitching department. He's 21-4 now. Randy,
you should have traded for Bob Bonilla. Yeah. That would have been the play.
Yeah. Randy Johnson and Jose Rijo following closely behind Maddux. But Maddux has got the NL Cy Young in the bag. Easily in the bag.
He's pretty good. Jose Rijo's not too shabby.
No, Jose Rijo's pretty solid. Pretty solid. One of my early 90s faves.
They did some good early Reds teams.
They did, yeah.
Rijo and
was it 1990? I think they were. 90? I think it was 90 that they were exceptionally well. That was before the rise of the Braves rotation.
Yeah.
Which, happened. And happened for a very long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely foolish.
As you can see with Greg Maddux dominating.
Yeah, exactly. Alex Gonzalez ready to come off the DL. I'm not going to complain about that. All right. Hey, Carlos Delgado, Rookie of the Month.
Nice.
So that is pretty much what we needed.
You tied for first. We tied first in the division.
Let's go back. We did. We actually won. We won the American League East.
Nice.
We let's check the schedule. We actually had to play a game 163.
Ooh.
Is that how that worked out?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say 94 and 67. That's 160. No, that's 161 games. We have one game left.
Oh,
one game left against Milwaukee.
Top right, you can see.
Yes, I see that now. So we're playing Milwaukee. Ricky Bonas is pitching for the Brewers. The Yankees are facing the Red Sox and Joe Hesketh Ricky Bonas has an 8.37 ERA on the season, so I feel pretty good about our chances.
I believe in you.
The Braves have 108 wins with 1 game to go, and they're
Crushing
facing the Expos, who have 101 wins.
Jeez. And the Reds have 98 wins. Wow.
Yep.
Astros have 100.
Yeah, it's pretty foolish. Paul Molitor hurt for 3 days. Appreciate it. Good work, buddy.
Hopefully you don't have to play a game 163.
Nope. We beat Milwaukee 7-4. The Yankees also won, so we win the American League East by 1 game with a 95-67 record. Cleveland won the American League Central with 97-64. They won it by 16.5 games. The White Sox squander one of the greatest offensive seasons ever. The A's win the AL West by 2 games over Seattle. The Yankees pick up the wild card. In the NL, Atlanta handily wins the East with 108-54. Houston wins the Central 101-61. They win by 3 games over the Reds. Dodgers with a 78-84 record win the NL West.
That's
6 games under 500.
That's something.
The Expos with 102 wins win the wild card. And we'll probably lose to the Dodgers in 3 straight. 3 straight.
They would play Houston in the first round.
That's right.
Wild card plays the worst team, the best team.
Going to the playoffs achievement. Thank you.
Yeah, wild card plays the best team, not in their division.
Right. That is right.
I think that's right.
I believe you're right. So
I'm
playoff
fairly
roster.
positive that's what I remember.
So we have players eligible for the playoff roster. We have to make sure that we have our playoff roster set appropriately. Delgado has played his way onto the playoff roster.
Nice.
He had a...
Who missed it? Or do you have anybody that actually missed it? Because you have the...
So guys that we're going to have to leave off, are they leaving? No, they're putting David Cohen on the playoff roster. Looks like we're going to have pretty much most of the guys that we wanted.
I think if you go to that eligible for the playoff roster, maybe they won't be highlighted on the...
Paul Spoljaric is not on the playoff roster. And he's the only guy who's eligible that we don't have on there.
Gotcha.
Which is perfectly fine by me.
All right. So now we just got to do it to it.
Exactly. Let's take a quick look at the playoff coverage. We're going to head on over. So we're playing Oakland in the first round in a rematch of the 1992 or 3 ALCS, whichever one it is. I can't remember. The one where Robbie Alomar hit the home run off of Eckersley. Oh my geez, it's bad that I can't remember what year that was. It was one or the other. Either way, that's fine. We definitely have a pretty staunch pitching advantage. I mean, their Game 2 starter has a 7.01 ERA on the season. Montreal's playing Atlanta, by the way. Yeah.
Unless that was a rule they added later?
Yeah, remember when they started it used to be on a rotational thing? Like the wild card this year would play, like it was set out like 4 years ahead. Like if this year they would play this division, and this year they would play that division, and this year they would play that. That's how they did it at first, if I remember correctly.
Possibly.
Yeah. So we have Montreal and Atlanta. That should be a heck of a series. But we're playing Oakland. I like our chances. I mean, I really do like our chances. We are 7th in the AL in runs scored, 1st in the AL in runs against. We have 134 runs against advantage over Oakland, which I think is going to be probably where the major advantage for us is going to come from. But yeah, I think we've got a pretty good chance. Montreal goes up 1-0. They beat Greg Maddux in the first game.
Wow. Well, they got those boppers. So.
3-1. Rondell White with a home run. Jeff Facero picks up the win. Wetland with the save. So that's good. Oakland takes a 1-0 lead over us. Our bullpen blows it late. Brocious, McGuire, and Steinbach with home runs for Oakland. Devon White hits one for us. Atlanta got back into it by picking up Game 2. We tie it up 1 game apiece. We win 11-8. So they're all shootout games. 10-7 in game 1, 11-8 in game 2. Robbie Alomar with a home run. McGuire with his second of the series. Okay, Montreal. So New York's up 2-0 on Cleveland. Montreal's up 2-1 over Atlanta. They beat Steve Avery in game 3. Wow. So far they've been 3-1, 3-1, and 7-1 in game 3. Game 3 for us. David Cohn against Steve Ontiveros. We win 3-2. Nice game. Dick Schofield. Dick Schofield with a home run in this one. I like it.
Montreal up 3-1. Come on.
Montreal leads the series. Oh, yeah. Oh, were the wildcard series best of 7 back then?
I think so. I think everything was best of 7. Well, we didn't have that year, right? So
yeah, that's true. We didn't know what was going to happen back then. Montreal eliminates Atlanta 4-1.
no.
Jeff Facero wins series MVP by picking up 2 wins over Greg Maddux. Wow. Oakland beat us in game 4 to tie the series up at 2. Ruben Sierra with a big home run. They beat us 8-1. New York sweeps Cleveland 4-0. So the Yankees are waiting for whoever makes it to the next part of this. Paul Molitor has been injured. He's out for 3 weeks. That hurts, TJ.
That's what happens when you have an old guy.
That's what happens when you're ancient. So now, Carlos Delgado.
Just saying.
Carlos Delgado, again, is the guy. The guy. We did pick up game 5 win. We won 6-3. So that's a good sign at least. The CPU has switched our rotation and has moved Juan Guzman up for the game 6 start. Has bumped Pat Henkin.
Ooh.
Houston has eliminated Los Angeles, so it's going to be Houston and Montreal in the NLCS. What did I just do? Oh.
You broke it?
Oh, we got beat out. No, we lost game 6 and 7.
Wow.
We got beat 10-1 and 10-5. Mark McGuire, series MVP with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs in the series.
Wow.
So our pitching comes back to we gave up 20 runs in game 6 and game 7. I was just about to say, if we advance past this, we might run out of time, but now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because we lost and we're terrible. So there you go. The Toronto.
We tried.
But the thing is, at this point, obviously, we're going to throw all our weight behind the Expos, right? I mean,
we got to do it for Canada.
Can the Expos right one of the biggest wrongs in baseball history, where they did not get a chance to play for the World Series because of factors outside of their control? That's right. I know Domingo Cedeno is eligible. I should just take him off. How about that? That would probably make that stop popping up. Montreal was eliminated 4-1 by Houston.
You know why?
Luis Gonzalez hit 600 in the series.
Wow.
15 for 25 with 2 homers and 9 RBIs. Ken Caminiti hit 188 with a home run. So not good. The only Expos win was a Pedro Martinez pitched game 2 where he threw 6 innings of 1-run ball.
Bagwell and Biggio both went 11 for 26.
That's foolish. And Taubensee was 11 for 27.
Wow.
Game 7 between the Yankees and the A's. So A's Astros in the World Series.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
That's very interesting right there.
And the Astros win the 1994 World Series. Jeff Bagwell, yeah, that's right. Slow clap. Well,
no one saw that one coming.
Jeff Bagwell is the World Series MVP, going .471 in the World Series. Luis Gonzalez had another fantastic series, going .353. But yeah, the Houston Astros win the 1994 World Series. So the more you know. The Blue Jays couldn't do it. The Expos couldn't do it. The north of the border streak is broken, not only in real life, but in out of the park baseball.
Yeah,
it's
sad.
Terrible.
Sad.
I'm sad. I feel like we were gypped.
We tried.
I mean,
we tried to make some moves.
Yes, we got 662 score, so that's not bad.
That's pretty
for
good.
An owner score. There are worse owner scores out there that we could have ended up with. To be 100% fair, I'm just simulating ahead real quick till the end of the award season, so we can kind of take a quick look back in the last few minutes that we have. Just a reminder, all you hockey fans, there is a hockey stream tonight.
I think so.
So all you hockey fans, make sure you hang out. Jeff and Adam, possibly, maybe, unconfirmed, might be here in 7 minutes with the Franchise Hockey Manager weekly stream. So if you like hockey, make sure you stick around.
Also, if you like Out of the Park baseball and franchise hockey, make sure you hit that follow button here on twitch.tv/OOTP.
Exactly. Greg Maddux won the National League MVP and the Cy Young.
Go.
22-5 with a 2.28 ERA in 35 starts. He threw 276 innings and had 250 Ks.
That's a lot of strikeouts.
And a 218 opponent's batting average against Dave Justice, his teammate, was second in voting. And Jose Rijo, another pitcher, was third. So Greg Maddux and Jose, for a year that we saw so many hitters that were absolutely dominating, a pitcher wins the NL Cy or the MVP. Albert Bell wins the AL MVP.
He's doing pretty good.
346, 55 homers, 150 RBIs, 224 hits, 45 doubles, 4 triples, and 160 runs. How many 150 RBIs runs seasons have there ever been? My guess would be 0.
150, what do you want? 150 runs, 150 RBIs?
150 plus runs and 150 plus RBIs.
I mean, that seems like something I should be able to look up.
That seems like something I'd like to know. Tim Salmon, who had a fantastic season, hit 368 with 53 homers. Actually had more RBIs with 160. Finished second in the voting. Was way behind in the runs. Randy Johnson was third in MVP voting, was 21-3 with 336 Ks.
Okay, you want to hear this list?
Yep.
Let me just tell you, there were 10 seasons where players have had, what did we say?
150 plus RBIs and 150 plus runs scored.
Yes, there have been 10 seasons.
Okay. How many of them were by Ty Cobb?
0.
Okay. Yeah, he would never got the RBIs.
Ask me another player that's amazingly great.
I'm going to assume Hack Wilson's probably on there.
Wrong. Continue.
Oh, I thought Hack Wilson's 190 RBI season, he might have had it.
Look, there's 10 seasons of this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players.
Okay.
One guy did it thrice. One guy did it twice.
Manny Ramirez.
No, come on. Crazy. I'll give you a hint.
Babe Ruth.
He's 3 of them.
3 of them. Okay. Babe Ruth makes sense.
In 1921,
yep.
He had 59 home runs, 168 RBI, 168 RBI and 177 runs. I'm going to say he wins that one. Yeah. No, questionable. Lou Gehrig did it twice. In 1931, he had 185 RBIs and 163 runs.
Was DiMaggio on there?
Joe DiMaggio did do it in 1937, 151 runs, 167 RBIs.
I feel like Ted Williams would have never got enough RBIs.
Snuck in there.
Oh.
In 1949, he had 159 RBI and 150 runs right on the nose.
Are any of them in the last 50 years?
No, come on.
Again, guys, don't play every day.
This is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1921 was Babe Ruth. 27 was Babe Ruth. 1930, 1930 happened 3 times.
Right.
It was Chuck Klein, Babe Ruth, and Al Simmons all did it in 1930.
Nice. There you go.
One for the Philadelphia Athletics, and I guess one for the Philadelphia Phillies.
And Albert Bell does it in 1994 in Out of the Park Baseball.
That's it's pretty good.
I mean, all in all, I feel like this was I'm disappointed in myself. Disappointed for Canada. But hey, you know what? It was a lot of fun. But
how weird is this? Okay, so this thing only happened 10 times in the history of baseball. Well, now 11 with Albert Bell. From 1927 to 1937, 5 Yankees did it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
They were good. There is a very good reason why the 20s era Yankees are considered some of the best teams in baseball history. Obviously, a lot of people think 27 was the pinnacle for them.
They were. We did the 16 and 16 last year.
I mean, they were absolutely they were a big fish in a minnow pond, absolutely for sure. Like there was no competing with them. And again, I mean, we're sitting here like literally 90 years later, pushing 100 years later for some of those early 20s teams, and they are still some of the most daunting offenses that has ever existed.
Interestingly enough, in 9 of the 10 seasons where this has happened before, they led the league in runs, but only 4 times did they lead the league in RBIs.
That's pretty interesting.
That's weird. That seems weird. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you know what? Let's see.
Also, all power hitters. Those hitters won the home run crown 8 of the 10 seasons.
That would be the case in this one as well. Albert Bell led the league in runs scored, did not lead the league in RBIs. And it's kind of funny. Albert Bell, in the simulation, 150 RBIs, 160 runs scored. Tim Salmon, 160 RBIs, 150 runs scored.
Pretty good.
So he did it as well. He had 150, 150 as well in the same season. And Ken Griffey Jr. fell 18 runs scored away from doing it. Because he hit the 150 RBI threshold as well. 4 50 home run hitters. Joe Carter was 5th in home runs at 44. But hey, all good.
Yep. And Adam and Jeff are ready.
Well, then that's our cue to lickety split out of here, I would say.
Yep. Thank you, SnaggleJ, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you to you and for Out of the Park for having me back.
Yeah, you can follow him on Twitter at SnaggleJ and also twitch.tv/SnaggleJ, where he's streaming a bunch of stuff. Yep. You can follow us on Twitter at OOTP Baseball, also on Facebook.com/OOTP Baseball. And if you missed any part of the stream and want to catch the archive, it'll be up on YouTube.com/OOTP Developments. And again, if you're in the New York / I guess Pennsylvania kind of area works, I can get out to Arm & Hammer Field.
Nice.
We will be at the Trenton Thunder game tomorrow night against I forget who it was. Hillcats? Harrisburg Hillcats? Something Flying Squirrels.
Go check
Harrisburg Flying Squirrels.
Go check it out. Minor League Baseball, Out of the Park Baseball, and post-game fireworks.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's Thursday, $2 draft beers before the 5th inning.
Ooh, frosty beverages. I mean, it's a can't-lose evening at the ball field.
Yep. We'll be back next week. Same time, same channel, 9 p.m. Eastern here on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. We'll be going back to our Padres franchise and see. We're doing pretty good. I think we're 500 or just around 500.
Nice.
In 2019. So I'm pretty excited for that. Now we're going to hand it off to Adam and Jeff with the Franchise Hockey Manager stream.
All right.
SnaggleJ, thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Like I said, thanks for having me. Anytime.
All right. And we'll see everybody else real soon. Take it easy, folks.